Welcome back, beautiful souls. I'm Lyra Vega, and I need you to circle one date this week, Wednesday, July 29th. In a single day, we get the most intense full moon of the year in Aquarius, sitting right next to Pluto. And the Sun meets Jupiter in Leo, which astrologers call the luckiest day of the year. The last time that meeting happened in Leo? 12 years ago. Leo and Aquarius, you're the headliners, but Wednesday has a gift, or a lesson, for every single sign. Now, let's read the sky together.
Aries. Your week builds toward a Wednesday jackpot. The Sun and Jupiter meet in Leo, in your zone of romance, creativity, and joy. And this is the single best manifestation day of the year for matters of the heart and passion projects. Whatever you love doing, do it loudly on Wednesday. Post the work, plan the date, start the project. Luck follows enthusiasm, and nobody does enthusiasm like you. The same day, the full moon in Aquarius lights up your friendships and community zone, with Pluto right beside it. A group, a friendship, or an online circle reaches a turning point. One connection may end its cycle, and honestly, you already know which one. Let it complete. In love, there's a catch on Wednesday. Venus squares Mars, your ruling planet, so desire and impatience can trip over each other. If they hesitate, it's not rejection, it's timing. Don't force the tempo on the luckiest day of the year. Money looks bright through the creative door. A hobby, a side talent, or a bold idea attracts real interest this week. Meanwhile, Saturn is now retrograde in Aries, quietly reviewing your commitments in the background. No action needed yet, just awareness.
Your alert. Wednesday rewards courage, not pressure. And your advice, Aries? Aim your fire at what you love and let the rest orbit you.
Taurus. Wednesday puts your name on the board at work. The full moon in Aquarius lands at the very top of your chart, in your career zone. And with Pluto standing next to it, this is a culmination with weight. A project completes, a role shifts, or a power structure above you finally shows its true shape. Something you've been building since winter reaches its visible moment. Stand where people can see you. On the same day, the Sun and Jupiter unite in your home and family zone. The luckiest day of the year happens in your foundations. A housing door opens, a family knot loosens, or you simply feel, for the first time in months, that home is on your side. Signing for a home, moving, or hosting? Wednesday blesses it. The friction point is love and money. Venus, your ruling planet, squares Mars on Wednesday, so wanting and affording may argue. Watch impulse purchases dressed as rewards, and watch a partner's spending too. Monday opens the week gently, with the Sun in sweet aspect to Neptune and Uranus. A creative or unexpected idea at work deserves your notes. Your alert: at Wednesday's career peak, don't burn a bridge with the old power just because new power is arriving. And your advice, Taurus: harvest the recognition, but plant your next season quietly. Gemini. Exhale. Your ruling planet Mercury has been retrograde since June 29th, and on Thursday it finally stations direct. For you, this isn't a footnote. It's the main event of the week, and it happens in your money zone. The stalled payment, the confusing invoice, the salary conversation that mysteriously went quiet, all of it starts to unstick from Thursday on. Give it a few days to gain speed, but the direction changes now. Wednesday, the Sun enters Leo and warms up your communication sector. The next 4 weeks are your season to pitch, post, write, and connect. And with lucky Jupiter already sitting in Leo, your words carry extra weight right now. Use them. Monday's Jupiter-Pluto opposition is the one to watch. A conversation about money or shared resources can quietly turn into a tug of war. State your number calmly, once. And don't negotiate against yourself while the other side is still thinking. In love, Tuesday's first quarter moon in Libra, your romance zone, asks for one concrete step. Plan the date, send the message, turn the maybe into a plan. Romance responds to action this week, not analysis. Your alert: double-check account numbers, invoices, and payment details before Thursday. Retrograde leftovers love hiding in the fine print. And your advice for the week, Gemini: speak half as much and charge twice as confidently. Cancer. Follow the money this week. It's glowing. On Wednesday, the Sun and Jupiter unite in your income and self-worth zone, the luckiest financial day of the year, and it's happening in your money house. A raise conversation, a new client, an unexpected refund, a skill someone finally prices correctly. One of these finds you around Wednesday. Ask for the number you actually want. Jupiter hates small requests. The full moon on the same day lands in your 8th house of shared resources with Pluto attached. A debt, a joint account, an inheritance matter, or a financial entanglement reaches its ending point. Something gets paid off, closed out, or renegotiated for good, and the relief is bigger than you expect. With Mercury now direct in your sign and picking up speed, your voice is back at full strength. Use it in every negotiation this week because people are finally hearing you clearly. In love, Wednesday's Venus and Mars square can stir a spat about, yes, money, or about who gives more. Keep the receipts metaphorical, not literal. Your alert: the luckiest day of the year is not a license for the luckiest purchase of the year. Let the money land before it leaves. And your advice, Cancer: know your worth, say your worth, and let Wednesday do the rest. Leo. Leo, breathe in, because weeks like this one visit a sign every 12 years. On Wednesday, the Sun, your ruler, meets Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, in Leo. Astrologers call the Sun and Jupiter meeting the luckiest day of the year in any sign. In yours, it's a personal reset button. Whatever intention you set on Wednesday carries a 12-year echo. The project, the reinvention, the love you want, the version of you that's been waiting backstage. Write it down, say it out loud, act on one piece of it that same day. The universe is unusually literal this week. Now, the other half of the sky, the full moon in Aquarius, happens in your relationship zone, hugging Pluto. So while your star rises, a partnership reaches its moment of truth. A commitment deepens, or a dynamic that only worked when you were smaller comes to its end. Both outcomes serve the new cycle. Venus squaring Mars that same day warns against letting triumph sound like arrogance at home. Celebrate with your person, not at them. Money expands with your visibility. Negotiate anything on Wednesday. Your alert: with this much light on you, envy is part of the scenery. Don't feed it with explanations. And your advice, Leo: make the wish like you mean it. The sky certainly does. Virgo. Your luck works undercover this week. Exactly your style. Wednesday's Sun and Jupiter meeting, the luckiest day of the year, happens in your 12th house, the backstage of your chart. For you, the jackpot isn't public, it's internal. A healing conversation, a burden that dissolves, a private door that opens quietly, a mentor who helps with no audience. Trust what arrives softly on Wednesday. It's still Jupiter-sized, just wrapped in silence. The full moon the same day completes something in your work and health zone. A heavy project finally closes, or your body delivers its end-of-month report. Read it with kindness, and with Pluto beside the moon, consider truly retiring one habit that's been draining you, not pausing it, retiring it. Monday is genuinely lovely for you. The sun trines Neptune and sextiles Uranus, and rest plus one small change of scenery resets your whole nervous system. In love, Wednesday's Venus and Mars square may make you nitpicky when you're actually just tired. Name the tiredness, not the flaw. With Mercury, your ruler, now direct, a stalled group plan or friendship conversation moves again. You're alert? Do not launch the big thing yet. Your season arrives in late August, and this is the final prep month. And your advice, Virgo, what you release this week decides what your birthday season has room for. Libra. Wednesday hands you the social jackpot of the year. The Sun and Jupiter meet in Leo, in your 11th house of friends, networks, and communities. The luckiest day of the year happens in the room where you know everyone. An introduction, an invitation, a community, or a collaboration around Wednesday carries long-term gold. The person you meet this week may matter for years. Say yes to the gathering, even the one that sounds optional. The full moon, meanwhile, lights your romance and creativity zone with Pluto attached. A love story or a creative project reaches its defining scene. A situationship declares itself or dissolves. A piece of work finally ships. Either way, clarity replaces the maybe. And here's your specific caution. Venus, your ruling planet, squares Mars that same Wednesday. Desire and pride can collide in the afternoon. If a conflict sparks, pause before the clever comeback. The full moon will tempt you to make it dramatic. Saturn continues its retrograde review of your partnership zone in the background. Old promises are still under audit. No verdict needed this week. Money stays steady, with a possible boost through a friend's referral. You're alert? Don't schedule the hard relationship talk for Wednesday. Thursday is calmer and wiser. And your advice, Libra? Let the network lift you, and let the maybe become an answer. Scorpio. The top of your chart catches fire this week, in the good way. On Wednesday, the Sun and Jupiter unite in Leo, in your career zone. The luckiest professional day of the year, and it's yours. A promotion conversation, a public win, a door at work that's been sealed all year suddenly swings open. Ask for the big thing on Wednesday. Title, budget, opportunity. Because the people who decide are unusually generous for exactly one day. At the same time, the full moon in Aquarius lands at the base of your chart, in home and family, with Pluto, your co-ruler, standing beside it. A domestic matter reaches its point of truth. Something about where you live, or a family dynamic that's been running on old rules, completes its cycle, and you finally see who holds what power at home. Handle it with your signature depth, not your signature sting. That tension between career peak and home truth is your week. Venus square Mars on Wednesday makes the tug-of-war physical, so schedule buffer time between the office win and the family dinner. Monday's gentle sky helps you prepare quietly. Use it to line up your ask. You're alert? Don't sign for the new role and renegotiate the household on the same evening. And your advice, Scorpio, climb on Wednesday, come home on Thursday, in that order, with love. Sagittarius. Your ruling planet throws its biggest party of the year this week, and you're on the guest list by blood. On Wednesday, Jupiter, your ruler, merges with the Sun in Leo in your 9th house of travel, learning, and meaning. The luckiest day of the year, happening in the most Sagittarius corner of the sky. Book the trip, Enroll in the course, submit the application, publish the big idea. Doors marked distance and growth open at a touch on Wednesday. If you've been waiting for a sign to expand your world, this is the least subtle one the sky can send. The full moon that same day completes a story in your communication zone. A conversation, a decision, or a document that's been circling since early July finally lands. With Pluto beside the moon, the words said on Wednesday are permanent. So choose them like souvenirs. In love, the Venus and Mars square brings a flirt versus freedom wobble. Someone wants a plan, you want a window seat. Be honest about which one you can give. Money flows best through anything foreign, academic, or published. Monday's dreamy sky is perfect for mapping the adventure before Wednesday funds it. Your alert. Read the visa rules, the syllabus, the fine print. Expansion loves details this week. And your advice, Sagittarius, when your ruler calls once every 12 years, you answer with a yes. Capricorn. 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 This week pays an invoice you'd almost forgotten. The full moon in Aquarius on Wednesday lands in your money zone with Pluto beside it. An income matter reaches its conclusion. A payment finally clears. A financial chapter closes, or you get undeniable clarity about what your work is actually worth. Full moons in the second house are harvest moons. What arrives now was planted months ago, so receive it without apologizing. The same Wednesday, the Sun and Jupiter meet in your 8th house of shared resources, the luckiest day of the year for loans approved, investments maturing, debts renegotiated, contracts with other people's money attached. If you need a yes from a bank, a partner, or an investor, ask on Wednesday. Yes, both money houses activate on the same day. For once, the sky speaks fluent Capricorn. In love, Venus square Mars can turn a partner's spending into an argument. Remember, you're negotiating values, not just numbers. Saturn, your ruler, continues its retrograde review of your home foundations in the background. Notice what the house is asking? Decide later. Monday's soft sky favors planning the whole week's chess in advance, which you'd already done, obviously. Your alert? Luck with money is still math. Run the numbers even on the blessed day. And your advice, Capricorn? Collect what's yours, structure what's shared, and thank yourself in December. Aquarius. The full moon of the year happens in your sign on Wednesday, and it brought Pluto as a +1. This is your personal culmination moment. 6 months of becoming someone slightly different reaches its visible point, and the people around you finally see the change they swore wasn't happening. Full moons in your own sign put your needs, your body, and your name in headlines. Expect emotions at full volume, including yours, and let them speak. With Pluto conjunct the moon, this is less mood swing and more identity software update. Something about the old you completes its final task and logs off. Honor it. Across the sky, the Sun and Jupiter unite in your relationship zone the same day, the luckiest partnership day of the year. A commitment takes a real step. The proposal, the contract, the let's do this properly. The beautiful paradox of your week, you become more fully yourself and more deeply partnered in the same 24 hours. The two are not opposites, they're the deal. Venus square Mars adds heat. Desire runs high, but so does friction. So channel the intensity into honesty, not scorekeeping. Work benefits from Monday's inventive sky. Your unconventional idea gets a rare yes. Your alert. Don't make permanent announcements while the moon is still peaking Wednesday morning. By evening, you'll say it better. And your advice, Aquarius? Let them see the new you. That's the whole point of the moon. Pisces. Your week works like a deep exhale. The full moon in Aquarius on Wednesday lands in your 12th house, the most private room of your chart, with Pluto beside it. Something you've been carrying silently, a worry, a grief, an old story you never posted about, reaches its natural ending. Release it on purpose. Write it down, say it to the water, close the tab. This is the sky's annual deep clean of your inner world, and Pluto makes it permanent. You'll sleep differently on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Sun and Jupiter meet in your work and health zone the same day. The luckiest day of the year arrives through your routine. A job opportunity, a health breakthrough, a daily habit that finally clicks, a colleague who becomes an ally. For you, Wednesday's gold looks ordinary at first glance. Look twice. Monday belongs to you as well. The Sun trines Neptune, your ruler, and intuition runs crystal clear. Schedule the creative work, the therapy session, or the important journal entry for Monday. In love, the Venus and Mars square blurs signals midweek. Ask instead of assuming, especially in newer connections. With Mercury direct now, a romantic or creative conversation from June gets its real conclusion. Your alert: don't fill the space the full moon empties. Let it stay spacious for a while. And your advice, Pisces? Finish the inner chapter first. The outer one is already being written in your favor.
And that was your week, beautiful souls. What a Wednesday, right? Tell me your sign in the comments and what you're manifesting on the luckiest day of the year. I read every single one. If Lyra earned it, subscribe and tap the bell, because August opens with big movements in the sky, and we'll read them together right here on Sunday. Until then, eyes on the stars, feet on the ground.